Today we're making a video about loading TSS, hand loading. TSS was started to be used in shotgun shells by a guy named Kyle Smith. He only used this stuff for hand loading duck and goose loads. He was a waterfowler. And a guy named Hal Abbott came along and realized that this stuff would probably be the ultimate shot for turkey hunting. And he talked with Kyle about some loads for turkeys, and of course he was a waterfowler. He had no interest in it whatsoever. But what makes this stuff so great is it's one of the heaviest metals known to man. The only thing heavier is depleted uranium. And I don't think we want to be shooting any of that in our shotguns, but it's pretty amazing stuff. You hear all kind of stories about people killing turkeys at 60, 70, 80, 90 yards with the stuff, and you normally use 9-shot, which is real fine. And one advantage to 9-shot, I shot a couple of geese with it, and the penetration is amazing. One reason is because it doesn't push feathers through the meat like a larger shot does, like a steel shot. So I'm gonna show you some of the handmade tools that I've made and walk you through this process. Okay, this is a handmade wad splitter. A lot of these wads that we use are made for steel shot, and they come with no slits in them. They're just a tube, just a shot cup that's solid, and you have to cut slits in them by hand to make it release from the shot when it comes out of the barrel. We don't want to be shooting a TSS slug, so I'll show you how this works. So all you do is line the shot cup up, and just press down with the drill press. And that's a lot easier than cutting it with a knife or scissors. A lot of these wads are kind of thick, and they're pretty darn hard to cut with a pair of scissors, but that's what I'm looking for. This little tool is made with a dowel rod that'll fit inside the wad, and I took a hacksaw and cut slots across it, and I took X-Acto knife blade and glued one in those slots and used gel super glue to hold it. It holds good, but it takes quite a while to dry, so you got to put one in one day and then 2 short ones in button against the one on the sides the next day, and but it works. Okay, when you buy a shot from someone like Hal, or there are a few other people out there selling it, they have developed loads for this stuff, and these loads call for fillers in them a lot of times because TSS is so heavy, so it doesn't have the volume that steel shot does. But this is Mylar for loading 16 or 20 gauge. That goes inside the wad to help protect your barrel and your choke. But on this particular load, it gets a 1/8" cork in it. And press that down tight, and then it gets a sheet of Mylar. the Mylar is kind of aggravating. You just roll it up in your finger and put it down in the wad, and I don't believe that cork's seated all the way down, but and then you put the felt in there, and the felt helps hold the Mylar. If you happen to put your Mylar in there and it's sticking up a little bit above the shot cup, just take a pair of scissors and snip it off flush. You don't want it sticking up very much at all. Alright, for weighing the powder, we use an electronic scale. I'm not going to show you how to calibrate it. All of them are different, so you'll just have to read the instructions on that. But I use a spoon for the powder. You can use dippers or whatever, but a spoon seems to work best for me. And if you get too much in there, you just dip some out and start over again. It can be a little aggravating, but after you've done several of them, you know, you can kind of judge better how much to put in there without going over like I just did. But then we dump the powder in the shell, and it's best to use metal utensils when dealing with powder because it will stick to everything plastic. It's I've got a plastic bowl here, but it serves a purpose, but a metal funnel, it'll let it all go down in there and, without sticking. So okay, once our powder's dropped, we want to put our wads in, and they just slide right in. I use an old magic marker to seat them with. Just need to seat them snug down on the powder. And next we'll be weighing out the shot, putting it in. Alright, I'm gonna pre-weigh my buffer. I like to mix it half and half when I load my shells, but this is the buffer that everybody uses for TSS shot. It's a real fine spherical buffer, but there it is, and I'm just going to pour it in this cup so I can weigh my shot out. Okay, in case some of you might be wondering, this is what 5 pounds of TSS number 9 looks like. And we're going to be putting 1 5/8 ounce in each one of these loads. And that's not a lot of shot for a lot of money. Alright, so 1 5/8 ounces of shot is about 710 grains. And to me, this is the most aggravating part, because you put 1 or 2 pellets too much and it really adds up. We got 709 right there. Alright, so when you throw another pellet in there, you come up with 710.3, which that's close enough. So I like to put half of it in there, and then about half of the buffer. Then I'll dump the other half in there. And the rest of the buffer. So now we got, it's a dental vibrator right here. And I bought this off of Amazon. I think it was like 35, 40 bucks. A lot of people will settle their buffer with, take the toothbrush part off of electric toothbrush, or this works the best though for me. But we just turn it on and vibrate it, and it doesn't take but a second when you do it that way. And you want to vibrate it until you see mostly pellets on the top. That means the buffer's worked its way down through the shock column. Okay, show you another little tool I made. This is a hull trimmer. Same thing. Got an X-Acto blade. You can see it's kind of on an angle, facing down slightly. And what we use that for is we put our Overshot card on. And I take the butt end, which is squared off and fits pretty tight in the hull. And I just give it a little press. And the reason we do this is because just about all these loads and components will have a different hull length. Well, you need about 1/4 to 5/16 past the Overshot card in order to roll crimp these things. And this is the easiest way to get there. You just press down, turn the shell, and it will automatically butt down against the Overshot card and give you the correct length for roll crimping. So there you go. This is a homemade hull vise that I built. You can buy these things. They're usually aluminum, but I built this one. It's on a base of plywood, and it's bolted down to the base of the drill press. And the way it works, it just swivels open. You put your shell in there, and you clamp her down. And after you get this set up in line with a roll crimping bit, you know, it makes it a lot faster and a lot easier. And this is a roll crimp bit. This is one that Precision sells. It does a pretty good job. You can get them in all different gauges. I've got a 20 and a 12 here. I just do this by feel. A lot of people might set up a stop on their drill press, but I pull mine down, take a little look at it, and see how it's coming. And you want to put enough pressure on it that it's tight. And there you go. Nothing to it. Well, I hope this video will help you out and show you a little bit about hand loading TSS. I'm going to try to put some contact information in this video to help you guys get started. And unfortunately, it's too muddy to be shooting in North Carolina today, since it's been raining for like 6 months solid. But I have some patterns I've shot previously, and I'll show you what some of those look like in a little bit. Thank you. Alright, when you roll crimp, you want to put a little bit of, I use a little Q-tip with squirt a little WD-40 in a cup, and just put a little bit inside your die. And then I usually wipe off the excess, and you can put just a touch on the outside of your hull. That'll help to lubricate it and make it roll over easy. You're gonna have to edit that out. I got the wrong die in there.